I'm known in the blog world as Miss Mustard Seed, and this is my very first tutorial on how to work with my milk paint. So we're going to start with the very simplest thing, and that's mixing the paint, because the paint comes in a powdered form, which is, I know, very different from other paints that are on the market, like latex and oil and chalk paint and all of those things. It comes in powdered form, so you mix it with water. The ratio is about 1.5 parts or 1.25 parts water to 1 part milk paint. But I really don't measure it out, I just sort of go with it. So I'm going to paint a dresser here. So I'm going to put, I always use just plastic cups, and I'm spooning it out, and I'm going to use, I don't know, I'm going to fill up the cup about maybe 1/4 of the way, maybe a little bit more. The thing with milk paint is you just mix it as you use it. In its powdered form, it will last indefinitely. Once you mix it, you can only store it for about a week. You can store it in a cool place, covered up for about a week, and or I'll leave it actually sitting out overnight, and it's fine for maybe 1 or 2 days. And I'm going to mix it with warm water, and as you can see, I'm not measuring, I'm just sort of eyeballing it. To mix the paint, you can either mix it with a blender or you can mix it with a stir stick by hand. I always mix it by hand. I think you can get it a little smoother with a blender, but I like to feel it and feel the consistency of the paint. So for me, that's just my preference, but you can mix it however you'd like to. And I'm just going to stir it around. It's kind of like mixing pancake batter. So you pour, the milk and eggs and liquid and all in, and then you just stir it a little bit, and you end up with these lumps. So it's kind of lumpy at this point, and but that's okay. It's okay. It's not going to have the kind of consistency that you get with latex or chalk paint or acrylic or any of those other paints that you're used to. It's going to have a different texture, and that's okay. It's a totally different kind of paint. So I would stir it up normally for about maybe 5 minutes or so, 3 to 5 minutes. Just keep working it. Maybe let it sit, go do something else, and come back. This one I need a little bit more water added to it. And I'm making probably about 1 cup of milk paint, and that will cover a pretty substantial dresser that I'm going to work on. I might end up having to mix some more, but I prefer to mix it in smaller batches. This is what the consistency of the paint looks like once it's mixed. As you can see, it's pretty smooth, but it still has a few lumps in it, and it's a little bit watery. If you still have lumps, that's okay. I'm sort of pressing them out with the stir stick. And if you do still have some lumps, you can just work them out with your brush. It's kind of a neat thing that you think like, oh, this paint's not going to go on very well, and then once you start applying it, it's okay. It just all works out. So you just have to sort of relax and go with it. So once it's all mixed, you're ready to paint.